Have you ever come across a personality type that seems to combine this, like, deep emotional wisdom with an almost chilling level of detachment? Well, today we're going to dive into a really fascinating and honestly provocative idea from our source material, the Dark Empath Archetype.
Wow. Okay, that's a pretty intense statement, right? It suggests something familiar, like looking in a mirror, but at a version of yourself that has this dangerous twist. It just immediately makes you ask, so what are we really talking about here? Is this some kind of villain, a misunderstood emotional genius, or is it something else entirely? In this explainer, we're going to break this archetype down piece by piece, straight from the source. All right, so let's get right into it. First up, we need to understand the fundamental building blocks of the dark empath. What really makes them tick? So here's the absolute key. It's this specific combination of traits. Think of it like this. They have all the hardware to process emotions, yours, mine, literally everyone's, with incredible precision. But they're missing the software that makes them personally feel it. They can read the entire story, but they don't actually get swept up in the plot.
And this is where the purpose behind it all becomes super clear. You see, a traditional empath uses their emotional intelligence to connect with people, right? To build bridges. But the dark empath, according to the source, uses that very same intelligence for defense, to build fortresses around their own inner world.
And this just perfectly lays out the central paradox, doesn't it? I mean, to feel everything and understand everyone, that suggests this incredible sensitivity. But then you have own nothing and remain unmoved, which implies this profound, almost cold, disciplined detachment. It's like having a perfect thermometer that can tell you the exact temperature of any room it's in, but the thermometer itself never, ever gets hot or cold. So, okay, they have this detached understanding, but what do they do with it? Well, this next section gets into how their sensitivity isn't just a passive thing. It's a tool that can be actively, and I mean actively, weaponized.
You know how for a lot of people, being highly sensitive can feel like a vulnerability? Like you're too easily affected by the moods and energies of everyone around you? Well, the dark empath archetype completely flips that script. They take that sensitivity and they transform it into what the source calls an emotional radar, a seriously powerful strategic advantage.
And here's exactly how that radar works. It all starts with step one. Just feel everything. Take in all the emotional data around you. Step two, process all that data to figure out what people really want, their true intentions. Then comes step three, and this is the critical defense mechanism. Sense when someone is trying to manipulate you emotionally. And it all leads to the final step, number four. The ability to see all of this happening and remain completely unmoved, not getting pulled into the drama. So where does all of this lead? What's the end game? Well, that brings us to the ultimate goal for this archetype, as described in the source material, a state of complete and total self-mastery. Emotional sovereignty. I mean, just think about that phrase for a second. It basically means your inner state is your own territory, and you are its absolute king or queen. Nobody gets to mess with your emotional climate unless you give them a key. It is the ultimate form of internal control. The first major result of achieving this sovereignty? You become a total blank slate to other people. By having complete control over your emotional output, you are essentially unreadable. And we're not just talking about having a good poker face. We're talking about your poker face becoming your actual face. You give nothing away unless you choose to. Now, when you have that kind of unreadable, unshakable composure, it can totally shift the social dynamics around you. When people can't figure you out, it's a lot harder for them to manipulate you. And according to the source, this calm, impenetrable control often commands a very specific kind of respect, because it just projects this aura of inner strength. And this all brings us to the final transformation, the final step, consciously choosing to own this role. It's not something that just happens to you. It's an active decision to be the sovereign of your own inner kingdom, to be the architect of your own emotional reality, and to be fully in command of your world within. All right, so let's put it all together. What does all of this add up to? What does the final form of the dark empath look like once they've achieved this sovereignty? Here it is, all boiled down. They become a walking, talking defense system, able to spot emotional threats from a mile away. They're a complete mystery to everyone around them, like the calm center of any storm. And this combination creates this powerful duality. They end up being an individual who is both respected for their composure and maybe, just maybe, feared for their emotional fortress. And that leaves us with this one big, Kind of haunting question to think about, doesn't it? Is the dark empath the ultimate master of their emotional world, just navigating it all with incredible skill and precision? Or have they just built their walls so high that they've accidentally locked themselves away from the very thing they understand better than anyone else? It's definitely something to chew on.